Hello YouTube and welcome to Allie's Wonderland Creations. I am Alice Seraphin and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Welcome to my channel. So I am currently working on my Saturday videos, and for July I am doing the Christmas in July theme. So we are focusing, our Saturday videos are focusing on the Perched in a Tree stamp set in the Aspen dies. They coordinate together. So this is the stamp set. For this one, we're using Let Heaven and Nature Sing, the splotchy, these little speckled, the bird, and the branch. That's what we're doing with that one. Let me show you the dies. So these are the Aspen dies, unless they've changed the name. Came with these trees, the two leaves, the little birdie, these little leaves, and the branch. And we are using the bird, the leaves, and the branch for this one. So I'm gonna set those aside. This is video number 2. It will air on July 8th. I'm gonna bring in my notes of what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna show you the card. It's a beautiful card. It's a 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 square Christmas card. I just love the colors. This also, I always forget something. This is considered my subtle. So the months that have 5 Saturdays, I concentrate each Saturday on one color collection. So this is subtles, though it does have a little bit of neutral in it. So this is Highland Heather Soft Seafoam. This is Gray Granite, my little bird. Now, forgive me if you do not have these pencils I have. It's just that this is the best way I could do to color my little bird, and we'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to show you our envelope. There's our envelope, and that's my envelope for the next card. So how do we start? My card base is 5 3/4 by 11 1/2, and that's the envelope. Okay, this is my card base. It is white. This is a pre-purchased square package of cards. So this is 5 3/4 by 11 1/2, and it's scored at 5 3/4, and it gives us that square. Next, we have layer number 1 is Gray Granite. It's 5 1/2 by 5 1/2 square. Layer number 2 is Highland Heather, and it is embossed with, shall I find it? Let's see. The melody. I thought it went lovely with the little bird and this little sentiment with the sing. So the melody embossing folder. And I'm going to set that aside again. So let's see, what else do we have? Scraps of soft seafoam for the leaf dies, which is this one right here. Basic white for the branch die, and we stamped that in Gray Granite. Soft feeling stamped with Highland Heather using the Handmade Wishes stamp set. So I don't have the new tag that goes with this punch, but I will. So it's up to you if you have the old one. I used this lined image to go with my punch. And I actually did it in 2 colors, and when we get to putting it on the card, we're going to do it. So basic white for 1 3/4 inch circle punch, stamped in Highland Heather with the word sing. I need to grab scrap for that. 8 1/2 inches of white organdy ribbon, or any white ribbon should do just fine. Gray Granite, 1 1/2 by 1 1/2 layer circling scallop die. That is this one right here. The inside measurement is roughly 1 1/2. Basic white piece, at least measuring 3 by 3 to stamp our bird. And then we stamped it in Gray Granite, die cut it with the die cut. The first one I did on my card, I actually fussy cut. And then Gray Granite, soft seafoam, and Heather, Highland Heather ink, and a sponge dauber for the Delicata silver ink that we used to carry, that I still have. So, mouthful of all that goody stuff. Okay. Where to start? First of all, I need a piece of scratch paper, as the other one was too badly used. Well, let's just start with the stamping part of it. So on our card base, we are going to do some stamping, and I've got them mounted back, front and back, or just both of them on the same stamp set. Let me take that one off for now. You'll see it's this little speckled image. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stamp and stamp again. Stamp, stamp twice, stamp again. So I'm going to stamp, stamp. We're going to go all the way around this card. So stamp and stamp, stamp and stamp, 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 and stamp, 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 and stamp. I'm recording.
Good news.
Oh, good. My pathology. Okay, cool. Thank you. Good news.
Yeah.
My pathology work came from my colonoscopy. It wasn't as bad as what we had expected. So that is great news. While we're doing this, we're also going to stamp our envelope. And I'm going to go a little bit closer to the edge. And I'm just repeating that same process. I'm just not going to bring it in as close to the center as I did. I want to turn it this way. Stamp, stamp, ink, stamp, stamp, ink, and then stamp twice. This is that first and second generation stamping you hear people talk about. That's all this is. You're using that first set of ink and then using what's left on the stamp. So we're going to stamp it this way. So that's our envelope. Yeah, I got a little heavy on one side than the other, but it's still going to be just as pretty. I'm going to continue to do the whole back flap. So stamp, and I'm going to stamp off to start, just to variegate that light and darkness on it. So that's my envelope. Okay, I do have to, I can't leave it alone. I cannot do it. So stamp here, I've just got to bring it in a little bit more. Let's see, here and there. Okay, now it's a little more even. That's our envelope, and then we're going to take our sentiment, which is going on the front of the card, let heaven and nature sing. We're going to stamp that here in the lower left. Beautiful. While we have got that going, we're going to grab a piece of scratch paper out of my bin here. Let's see. Will that work? That might just work. Stamp, let heaven and nature sing. Let me do it this way, seeing if I can get the circle punch here. Oh, it works. Told you, I love my scraps. Love them, love them, love them. And use them, use them, use them. I do. So we have that, and we don't need to clean that off right now. This one, we have to give it a quick little scrubby dubby here, because now we're going to stamp. Let's see. Really want to make sure all that purple is off of my stamp. I don't think I need any more of the Highland Heather, but I do need the soft seafoam. Then we'll work on the soft seafoam part. So stamp off, and I am just going to stamp there. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but hopefully you can now. It's just got that little bit of splotchiness in it. Next, I'm going to show you how I did my leaves. I already have dimensionals, as I had to cut them up into little squares to put them where I wanted them. So I'm going to show you how I did this. Yikes. Okay, you can stay there. And here are my other little pieces. I have my scallop laying circle die, my branch. These leaves is what we're going to do. My 2 handmade tags, and I'm going to show you how I colored the bird when we get to it. So we are working on this. So I'm going to put this one on there, and we're going to stamp off. and then stamp on the whole leaves. Now I'm going to turn it over, and without stamping off, I'm going to ink those little dots on there. Okay, so are we done with the soft sea foam? I think so. Maybe. Oh, ink on me. Yep. Okay, so I gotta wipe my hands off here a minute. Clean this off again, because there's only one of them. Might look dirty, but it's actually pretty plain. Alrighty, so let's see, we have those done. We have our branch that's going to need some work, but this needs some delicata. And now that we have come to the delicata part, this has not been re-inked in years, and I want it that way. I just want the darker ink around the outside. I'm going to stamp on this and stamp on it again, and it's just giving it a hint of shimmer to it. So that part is now done. And then I need to bring in our gray granite, and now we are going to, let me remove that one. We are going to stamp all around the outside. It's just giving another layer of depth to our card. You're not going to see much of this, so we're just stamping here. And that's all there is to this one. If I turn it, you're going to see, oh, looks like I missed that little corner. Let's get some in there. There. You can see it when I turn it, that little hint of it. That's all there is to that, except now we're going to repeat this on our card base. So anchor up. Why I did so much prep work, hoping this wouldn't take too long, as there is a lot of stamping, but I love making cards. I mean, that is why I got into stamping in the first place. Okay, so our card base is done. We have our gray granite next. That is done. So next we need to add some of the silver delicata ink with a sponge dauber. Now I'm really going to load up my sponge dauber, and then I'm just dragging it lightly across all the music notes. And we're just going to do that all the way down. Sometimes I swirl it, sometimes I drag it. This one looks like it needs just a little bit more of that shimmer. And you'll see it does show up. It may not on camera as much, but it is really pretty nonetheless. Just highlights it a bit. So next, I shouldn't need anything else. I took my sponge dauber and I rubbed it along my tree branch. It's just going to give it a hint of it. I'm not sure you guys can even see it, but it is there, and I liked that as well. So let's put the card together, shall we? I think so. I think we got it all. Oh, we need to show you how I did my little birdie. I have struggled with this bird before, but I really like what I came up with. Now you can use blends, colored pencils, watercolored pencils. It's up to you, but I stamped this in gray granite. And I got out of my stash these metallic art pencil crayons from Stampin' Up. These are super soft, but they blend beautifully, and all you need is a Q-tip. And I chose the silver, the bluer of the blues, this purple one, which is really close to the Highland Heather, and this golden one. So we're going to start with this golden brown, and I'm just coloring in the beak and going in on his feet. And that's it. I'm not going to do anything else with that. I'm just going to show you a bit of what I did. So I took the silver and I gently, and I do mean gently, rubbed it here, and I rubbed it along the tail feathers. And you don't have to push hard to use these. If you can find them, I would. I love these, and I've had them packed away for so long I forgot about them. So then I took my Q-tip and I just rubbed it, and it blends so nicely. So I'm just showing a little bit of everything. Then I took my blue and I'm going to come in here, highlight around there, here, here. Just scribble, scribble, scribble like I do with my other ones. So next I took my Q-tip again. There's my blue one. And I just went in big swirly motions. And do you see how it's moving the color? I mean, it's like so easy, it's scary. Stampin' Up, you need to bring these back, as people love to color, and these were so beautiful. So the purple one, I took really lightly and went over the whole area. And show you, make sure I get the purpley in, not the blue one. That's blue, this is purple. And just went like this and moved it around. And then to make it darker, I just went in and added more to the areas I wanted to make darker. I did blend it again. Do you see that? How much darker it is now? Okay. And then I did go around the edge like I do with my blends. When I do something, I went around the edge with the blue. This kind of stuff I could do all day. Do you see how it's going around the outside of my bird? So that is how I colored my bird. The first one I fussy cut, this one I did die cut. So that's all there is to it. We can put our card together. I do be careful with those pencils, as you take care of your stuff you invest money in, and it will last. As you can see, I've had those for a very long time. So we're going to get our card going here. So we're going to glue down our large square of gray granite to the center of the card base. Now this piece is not going to get glued yet because we have to get the ribbon on there. So let's set that aside. We're going to do our little circle here onto its counterpart. And it just is that tiny, tiny border of gray granite behind there. And I'm not sure. I did one of the soft sea foam with gray granite because I wasn't sure which one I liked better. Still not sure. Okay, let's do the ribbon. I do know that I want this a little farther down. So you guys have seen me do this. I kind of roughly place everything where I want it. Okay, I want my branch there. Here's my leaves that are going to go like so. Okay, so this is going to go, I can see right where these two are. Do I want the gray granite or do I want the purple? Okay, I'm sticking with the purple Highland Heather. This now is going to go right here in between these two lines of music. And I'm going to use the handy dandy Scotch tape. Yes, you know I am, to help me. You could use a glue dot. It's up to you what you want to use. But I'm bringing in Mr. Frog. I should name my little frog dispenser. What's a cute name for a frog besides Freddy the Frog? Frederick. Let's see what other names. I want it to be an F. Yes, I'm a goofball. Oh, Mr. Frog. Mr. Frog might just have to stay Mr. Frog for right now. So this is getting glued down. Now I'm going to add quite a bit because it has all these nooks and crannies from the embossing folder, and I want to make sure it sticks. So here we go. Beautiful. All right, so let's put this down, and I know to do that I want just a bit of this, and I'm gonna put it, let's see, right there. That's all I need are these two little bits. Gonna get it right where I want it. All right, so right here, one on top of the ribbon, not on top, but above the ribbon, and one little piece below, and that will adhere my handmade tag punch stamped in Highland Heather beautifully. Now Let Heaven and Nature Sing is just going to get glued down in the center. It fits beautifully in there. Okay, now the rest is, yeah, the rest is glue dot time. So here is my bird branch, and I like it right there. And this, oh, I did put this on dimensionals too. Oh, I should have already had these done. Let's see, I need to trim. This is why I did the little leaves prior. Okay, we can cut that off. I'm gonna do 3 sections. Hopefully that will get me across the branch. There and right there. I'm going to take the backs off. Thank goodness for those edge pieces, right? They work great. One of the strips would have worked too, but okay. I know I want my branch right there on that line of music. This one we are not using. That's the one I stamped on to show you. This one already has the pieces on it, and I just added some glue on the center area of the branch. And my little branch is what's bringing in that soft sea foam. Now my little birdie, I like the little toenail of this one, right? I like it tucked right behind the branch, and it kind of fits right after this little hump here. So let's get some dimensionals. I think 3 should really be able to do that really well. So 1 at the head, 1 down here by his wings, and 1 in his body. My little dog wants to go outside. She's gonna have to wait a minute. We are so close to being done. So right there, tuck his little toenail. Oh, so cute. So now the problem is bling, bling, bling. What bling do I put on this? Of course, when I do my samples, I usually don't use Stampin' Up! Bling. So let's see what we can find. Those are blues, reds. No. I do want something with a little sparkle. These will do it. Iridescent rhinestones. And I'm just going to put 3 on this. And probably, let's see where we're going to put 1. I want 1 here, 1 here, and 1 there. The other placements on the other one were just me being goofy. So the largest of them, oh my gosh, these are perfect. Okay. This one is going to be right here, and then a small one. Miss Gloria, thank you. I love my pokey tool. Look at that. Ah, gorgeous. 1, 2, 3. Such a better placement than what I did earlier. And I love these. These go so well with that. Yes, yes, yes. I am happy, happy, happy with that. And I'm very happy with my card. I hope you all like it. Hopefully you're not too disappointed that I'm doing Christmas in July. So there is the stamp set, my beautiful card. This is the envelope, and I think it's very, very lovely. I love my little bird. Thank you for these metallic art pencils, because I have struggled so much coloring this little bird. I will try again to do the bird in another video a different way, because I know a lot of you may not have those pencils, but if you do, bring those out of your stash and try them, because they really go so well with little Mr. Songbird here. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Make a comment, as I love to read your comments. And more than anything else, I want to invite you back to my wonderland. So long for now. Bye-bye.